Welcome back to Spitballin Cards. In today's video, we're giving you the update on 2024 Topps Update. There's been some interesting things going on with this product. Phil has a few things that he's noticed. I have a few things that I've noticed. And we want to talk to you about them, good and bad. So Phil, without further ado, what have you noticed on Topps Update that people might want to know?
Today is Monday the 21st. The product came out like 4 days ago, and a lot's happened. So we had pre-sale pricing at 88 for hobby and 200 for jumbo, and then we had all of these like pre-order prices from the big box shops that were much higher. So a lot of people were wondering, like, 145 for hobby, is that going to be the real price? I could have bought it directly from the website at 88 just a few weeks ago. Well, the answer is kind of. Hobby is now up to about 125 a box, and jumbos have gone up, geez, like 40, almost 50% since pre-sale. Up to about $290 to $300. And I think one of the reasons for that is that, well, first of all, the product's good. It's got pulse skeins. It's always going to have a great floor for those that open it. It's always going to be super popular. It's less printed than Series 2, even this year. It's less printed than Series 1 by a lot. I made a comment about how jumbo cases are at like 6,000 created versus 16,000 of Series 1. So what's that, like 35%? Yeah, big difference. So on top of that, and in addition to it being good and not printed as much as Series 2, I wouldn't call it short printed because that's the rhetoric that's being fed to some of the shops around here, is that a lot of the boxes I've seen being opened by Stryker and by others, people on blowout forums have reported their breaks. They're getting way more autographs and hits than what's being advertised. So in a case of regular hobby, that's 12 hobby boxes, you're not guaranteed an auto in a box. But a lot of people are getting like 4 or 5 autos in a case. A lot of people with jumbo cases, you're guaranteed 1 auto in a box, and cases have 6. A lot of people are getting like way over 6. A lot of people are getting autographs from silver packs, which I found is becoming harder and harder as time goes on to pull autographs from silver packs. And overall, it's been a pretty good story. And with retail, a little weird this year, but usually blasters, hangers, fat packs, etc., retail boxes, they'll hit the shelves like on or really close to release date of hobby. So by October 17th, we should have seen at Walmart's and Targets like blasters being readily available in addition to hangers and fat packs. Well, this year, it's really just blasters, I think, that are available. Fat packs and hangers looks like they're a little bit delayed. We've got Fanatics blaster boxes that are coming out a little bit later too. So when that all becomes available, is that going to make the price of hobby come down or at least slow the increase of it? That'll be interesting. Stryker released his sort of like breakdown on like what's the best like value per card. And we said in the last episode, I said that hanger looked like the clear winner by far for the retail SKUs. But according to his analysis, fat packs are right there with hangers. And actually, blasters are decent too. Each of the retail SKUs gives you something unique, maybe except for the fat packs. But like with blasters, you can get the Halloween parallels. And with like some of these cards, they only made like 470 of them, like the black hats or witch hats or whatever. I'm not really into them, but you can only get the Halloween parallels in blasters. In hangers, you can only get the yellow parallels, which there could be some unique color matches with a lot of the top rookies being Pirates this year, or at least a few of them. And then we've got a Brewer in there as well. So I don't know. That's the update from my side. Looks like a pretty strong release at this point. Topps Chrome update sold out in about 2 to 4 minutes. But we're not here to talk about that. That was crazy.
Well, thank you, Phil. I have a few things. So I actually am, well, by the time this comes out, this video will already be out. I released a video on my Topps update review after like having it be out, see imagery, all that good stuff. And I found some interesting stuff. The very first one is there's some things absent of this product compared to earlier stuff earlier this year and from past years. True photos, they're not in this set. Is that interesting to anybody else besides me? I would love a true photo of Paul Skeens. I think these are some of my favorite cards now, to be honest with you, and they were not in 2024 Topps Update. At least I could not find one listing and could not find it on a checklist. So does that bother anyone else besides me, or is this like a nothing burger to you?
It bothers me a little bit because we need continuity in these things. And you're right; these are beautiful cards. Like this is a really, really cool idea. One of the better ideas Topps has had this year, and I imagine there's been no explanation as to why they didn't continue this. I have no idea. My guess would be they just forgot that they made some kind of like mistake. But it's a shame. Yeah, I think of Paul Skeens and all the Jacksons. Like, yeah, I would love to see those true photo variations. I'm not sure why this stopped. Does it mean they won't happen again next year?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I'd rather have one of these than about 90% of the parallels, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a pretty big miss. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, well, I think true photos are dead. Yeah, that's harsh. Yeah, I know we have a couple friends that were moving to collecting these specifically, and like Chris said, without that continuity, that's a tough pill to swallow. Bad move.
Okay,
yeah.
I want to ask Phil because I don't think Phil cares about him.
It sucks. Every once in a while, they'll like throw off something with continuity. There'll be no reason for it. It's got to be either an oversight or some like late like time constraint or budget cut. Like there's nothing else that would explain stuff like this from happening.
Right. They want as many parallels as they can have. So that just takes out a huge chunk. It has to be some sort of error.
This is another one. AKA is dead. I liked these last year. These were limited to 1,000 or less. Not super rare, but rare enough where they're cool. Worth like $20-30 cards. But look how cool like the Sandman is, Mariano Rivera, and the J-Rod show. And like they're cool cards. And these were not continued in this set either. So another thing that I liked from last update, they did not carry over. The inserts are pretty weak, to be honest with you. Pretty weak. But that leads me to the thing I think is going to be a little bit larger topic. Well, before I get there, do you guys think this is lame or do you not care about these at all?
I don't care. Speaking of oversights, though, Phil, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they mess up the numbering on Topps Blacks?
Yes.
I think 18 and 19, if they're at a 67 both years. So then it jumps to 69, I think.
Right, but I believe Series 1 and Series 2 are 73, and this update is 74. Is that correct?
Oh, so that's what they did. They jumped ahead because they kept it steady in 2018, 2019 or whatever. Yeah. So they're making up for lost time.
I mean, maybe they're saying that. It seems like more likely that it's probably
Just a
another mistake.
Okay. Final thing I want to talk about. Golden mirrors are hard to hit. There are only 72 of each player projected from Topps Production baseball cards on X. I like his stuff. He gives you all the print runs of every insert, every parallel, everything. If you want to know, go follow him. Great guy. But Golden Mirror image, only 72 are made. What do we feel about that? Are we happy? Are we sad? I know you two blabbing guys like this stuff. How do you feel knowing they're more rare than they were?
I'm glad. I want these to be rare. And it's been out. This has been out close to a week now, right? Is that give or take about right?
Yeah.
There has not been a Jackson Holiday Golden Mirror SSP has yet to surface. And a ton of this stuff has gotten opened. And no one has seen one. Not on no eBay sales, nothing on Reddit yet. I think that's awesome. I want these to be really, really
That's
hard.
awesome, but I'm not convinced that it wasn't a mistake that they forgot to include him in there.
Yeah. if you look, so they fall. So black parallels are out of 74. So pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen of the top chases like 3 to 5 of each. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen anywhere there's been 0 that have been found on at least eBay. So I don't know. Maybe some people have hit the card and not realized it's rare.
Yeah, that could be it.
Possible. I haven't seen. I think Jared Jones. I also have not seen his SSP yet. Just throwing that out there. I am looking really hard too.
It makes me really think that they're a decent play right now.
I agree
because they're so much more scarce than they were. So, did you guys have anything you want to talk about with those cards?
Well, I just also want to point out, not only are they more scarce, Scott, but I like what they've done with a lot of these pictures, and I wanted to get your opinion on this because we just talked about in a recent video we talked about Juan Soto, and Phil even showed his Gatorade Bath, which is his update SSP. And it seems like maybe they're doing an homage to that.
Yeah.
Or it's possible that this is just a direction they're going to go. But a lot of the three of the 4 big name rookies that we have seen in this set, their SSPs are Gatorade Bats. So is this something, are you guys cool with that? If they use the same kind of general image for big rookies and update, how do we feel about that going forward?
I love themes. And so if that's going to be the theme, if they're going to kind of try to keep Gatorade Bats exclusive to hot rookies for SSPs, great. I love it. I know offline, Scott had mentioned they're becoming a little too common, which I get that. as for the picture of these three guys and this specifically this Cheerio, I love it. I love the jersey. I'm happy with it.
I will note that was Ty, not me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks,
I didn't like it, so that's Ty's contribution. He doesn't like how common they're becoming. I think it's cool. I like the card. I think it's a great image. There's a lot of worse things we could have gotten than this. And I have no issue with Gatorade Bats. That Billy Butler, he has 2 SPs ever, and one of them's a Gatorade Bat. That's cool to me, right? They've been around a while. It's just they're big moments, and it's nice it's tied to a moment.
Exactly. Good point.
So not
every rookie gets a Gatorade. Not every rookie gets doused with Gatorade their first season. Like they have to do something to warrant it. So we know that Cheerio, and I think Jeff, we were able to tie. We know what game this was, right?
Yeah, it was. He had a grand slam against the Cubs in June to win the game.
Yeah, I think
minor criticism here, but with the Soto, you don't get that G in the background. Is this really just like product placement? Is the G visible in the other ones? Because that would be interesting if there's like a contract here there. If so, I want to get some money back from the product, like how Netflix is cheaper when you get the ads.
Yeah, maybe Phil.
Amazon Prime.
There's a G.
A little bit on there. I don't know how much you can see it on Skeens.
Yeah, we'll get to Skeens. So this is Jackson Merrill's, and I think this is cool. I mean,
great card.
The color of Gatorade almost looks like a bucket of frozen piss getting thrown on him, which is interesting. But I'm pretty sure that's Machado doing it. Jeff, I think we looked at the corner of the ear that's visible and determined that this has to be Machado.
Yeah, hairline.
Yeah, proved that it was Manny.
Yeah, I think that makes this card cooler.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a big fan of this one. And let me grab Skeens because I think I pulled the Skeens up too.
So I found the exact image on Getty Images of that moment.
Okay.
So I'll see who it was for sure, what player, what day.
All right. Well, hang on one second. I'm just going to pull up. This is Paul Skeens getting kind of a more subdued Gatorade.
Yeah.
Gatorade bath here.
Yeah. He's kind of in the background, a little more artsy framing of this one.
Yeah. I don't know. So this was probably my least favorite of the three, but yeah. But yeah, I think this is cool. And I'm curious if Jackson Holiday is getting a Gatorade bath as well. I don't know if he ever got one. Certainly not during his first time up.
Maybe it's a minor league Gatorade bath.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. This photo is from June 12th. That's pretty late for Topps. Usually they don't do anything past May for any rookies. So that's pretty interesting.
I actually hold on.
Could be using early images.
So we also in this set got Juan Soto's first like Yankee flagship base card.
Yep.
Which is cool. And his SSP just popped up. I don't know if you guys have all seen it, but I'm gonna just pull this one up.
I haven't seen it yet.
All right, hold on. Now I gotta find it again.
A couple versions of his black parallel have sold for pretty decent prices, $35 and $40. That's a pretty cool card.
How much?
The first one went for $35 and the next one went for $40. First Yankees black parallel.
Oh, you're talking about Soto? I was following that.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's his first home run in Houston. I'm pretty sure.
Is that in Houston? I mean, I can't tell. I have no idea.
Maybe it's not in Houston. I'm wrong. That's not Houston. Looks like
the coloring of those pads make it look like it's Yankee Stadium.
I'll find it.
I just think that's a cool shot. You don't see that a lot. He's got some ups.
Yeah, don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Like Kendrys Morales did.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Exactly what I was thinking, Phil.
That's why we assess players' body types. We should have been able to see the Morales injury coming.
Yeah, that's a good point. So if you do like Soto, he also has an SSP with Aaron Judge. He has this Bronx Bombers card. And I think this is cool because their base card is them celebrating a home run, and then this is the SSP. So it is completely different. I know Jeff and I get irritated when the SSP is like just the same thing, but 2 seconds later. But so I like this one. If you're a Yankee fan and he stays, this is probably a card you're going to want to own a copy of.
I'm stealing your screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Houston. I was right.
Oh, nice.
That was the first home run he had in Houston with Luis Rojas.
So it's his first Yankee home run.
Doesn't he have his home uniform on?
Huh?
Yeah, that is his home uniform. Maybe is it against?
Oh, it's his first. It is against Houston at Yankee Stadium. So it's his first Yankee Stadium home run. Forgive me.
Oh, there you go. I mean, that's awesome. We got the celebration on the card. Props to the
a moment.
Yeah.
So Jackson Holiday didn't have any memorable MLB moments to use till about August.
It's got to be a defensive picture.
Maybe they
right?
missed it. Maybe they missed it in this release.
They're
Because
just like,
Scott was making that
they
comment
just keep
about
waiting. We can keep waiting. We can keep waiting. We can still get it in there. And then they.
I mean, knowing Topps, his golden mirror, it might just be him like packing up his bag in the locker room after he got sent down.
It's just going to be. It's just gonna be another fun face variation. That's all it's gonna be. Something lame.
Well, yeah, if they want to go all in on that,
it's gonna be the real one. That's what it's gonna be.
Yes, that would be great. I just wanted to show if anyone knows who Tom Murphy is.
Yeah, the catcher for the Rockies and Mariners. I don't know where he's at now.
Well, there you go. I believe he's on the Giants. He has one of my favorite cards in the set. I just wanted to show this briefly, and then we can stop talking about image variations. But this is just great. That's just good stuff.
It shows a little personality.
Yes. I feel like if you're a Giants fan or you like this guy, you need this card, and then you need him to sign it. I think that's cool. That's the kind of like, give us something weird, do something different. I like it.
Yeah, and a few of those are selling for more than a regular Tom Murphy golden mirror you'd expect it to sell for.
That's right. I think one sold for like $30. But anyway, what did the first Paul Skeens Topps Black go for? Because I know we were guessing it might be around like $1,000, but I think I saw one sell, but I don't remember what it went for.
Yeah,
900 shipped.
Oh, what?
900 shipped is my guess.
Okay.
The first one sold for $860.
Ooh. Okay.
$860 on the 20th. That was yesterday, last night, right?
Ooh.
He's got two, so he's got the rookie debut, and his rookie debut is $425.
Oh wow,
that's a high price.
That's a high price for a rookie debut.
And interestingly, we talked about Holiday before. He's had 3 black parallels sell: one for $600, one for $415, and one for $410.
That's settling nicely.
So he and Skeens have the most, have the highest selling black parallels. And that Skeens, yeah, almost $1,000.
Chorio's got a bunch that are like in auction, or
yes,
he's had the most out of the top players that I've seen. I think servers on eBay, but that's just, you know, I don't know if that's exact science or anything, but
I think those are all, yeah, like Phil said, those are mostly auction. He did have a rookie debut sold at best offer for $200.
Oh,
yeah. So
go ahead.
If people are wondering like what to pay for a black parallel, sometimes what I look at is the gold parallel that's numbered to 2024, and I'll multiply that by like between 6 to 8. So if you're a buyer, try to pay 6x, maybe something like that. And if you're a seller, try to get 8x. And condition matters on black parallels.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about this in the previous episode. So discount it appropriately if it's banged up. And most of these, a lot of these are for sure. Ask for additional pictures too.
While you're mentioning that, Phil, a lot of the SSPs are pretty banged up as well. Coming
the top edges seem to be an issue from what I've seen on the horizontals.
Poor quality control, so be careful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I also want to just throw out real quick. I think Jeff and I were talking about a Churio Clear. I think was the first big rookie clear that we've seen. And Jeff, what'd that sell for?
That sold for, I want to say $1,000. Let me look.
I think that's I think that's right. What do you guys think about that price? A Jackson Churio Clear for $1,000.
And then another one came up and it was listed at $1,600, I want to say.
Ooh.
So what I found, and this is an effect Scott Smokey probably, but ultra modern era where there's a lot of parallels, the clear ends up mattering a bit less in the scheme of things, even though they've had some sort of continuity, although not as much as the black over the years. I find a clear to sell for about double the black in a lot of cases. So that sale, although it seems low, is probably about right.
So the first one went the day the product dropped for $1,000, and then one actually went at bids for $1,100, a different one.
Wow. Oh, I didn't know 2 were up.
So 2 have surfaced already, and I believe there is one listed on eBay now. I don't know if it's the same or if it's a third. I'm not sure.
3 of the 10.
That's crazy. We still haven't seen some gold mirrors of some people, which is nuts. I will say I'm a big fan of clears. Obviously, I collect a few of them. And the earlier clears, so we have like probably the biggest ones we've ever had is the Mookie. The Soto is a big clear. I would say probably the next one. I don't think one of those is sold in a very long time. I know the guy, Jay Strizzo on Instagram, he has the the Soto 1 of 1, the whole rainbow, but he's been looking for a clear forever. You can bet he'd pay a lot more than double the black for it if he finds
one. So, agreed on Soto. Agreed for sure.
It's one of those things where every year's different. Topps loves doing stuff. There's 30 parallels this year. Can I talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
In 2020, last thing, then we'll move on to one more thing. I'll just show this.
So that's why all the retail's loaded, because they all have their own exclusive parallels.
Yeah.
In 2020, there were 6 numbered cards for a total of 369 numbered cards of each player. Okay, makes sense what I'm saying? Excluding blacks. I'm sorry, excluding golds. If you include golds, it's 2,000 more.
Okay.
In 2024, there are over 3,000 with 18 numbered parallels. So it's way more, 3 times more the number of parallels and 10 times more the number of cards, numbered cards. If you go back to like 2018, it's not the exact same actually. It's pretty consistent from 2017 to 2020, and then it boomed. But like 2011, there were 2 numbered cards, right? 120 total. It was the Hope Diamond and the black. There's just, I do think that certain cards are establishing themselves as important. What would you guys say? Personally, for me, I'd say clear, black, gold are all like the most sought after for their each respective tier. You could argue camo. Are there anything else you would include in there?
Independence Day, if it looks good.
Independence Day, yeah, totally missed that one. Independence Day,
18, 19, and this year, I would say.
So Independence Day, camo, clear, black, gold. Are those the best 5?
Yeah, I think like Mother's Day, Father's Day, like unless you're going for the rainbow, I don't think those are particularly popular.
No, and camo is a little tough too because they've changed the numbering on that.
And they've changed the design of camo too.
25, yeah.
So you think it's just those 4, clear, black, Independence Day, gold are the best 4, would you argue?
Basically.
As it continues to rise, like we don't have to establish anything, but in our opinions, we can say what we think.
Yeah, they can add all those other parallels, but I don't think it changes the ones that matter.
Yeah, I'm in a Soto IG chat, and during like his craze, which lasted a few years, I mean, he's still obviously very popular in the hobby, but he's below peak prices, of course. But during like 2020, 2021, it was hard to find people that were willing to sell the Father's Day, the Mother's Day, the camo for his 18 update cards. And that's changed quite a bit. So over the last few years, I feel like if you held black Independence Day for that year, especially because it was beautiful that year, and if you had Father's Day and Mother's Day, and if you needed to free up some cash to buy something new or pay for your family expenses or whatever, you would sell the Father's Day, Mother's Day, the camo. The argument that the guys would make was like, oh, he has such few parallels that like Mother's Day and Father's Day are going to be expensive for him versus other players where they're not. Because for other players, Father's Day and Mother's Day were less desirable than black parallels at the time, but equally desirable to black for Soto collectors at that time. But that only stood true during like that parabolic run up for Soto, short time period, basically a few years. And now those people, like they can't find people to buy their Father's Day and Mother's Day cards. So continuity matters, guys. You might not think it does when you pick up the card, but at some point it probably will.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that, Phil. I want to note this. I wanted to see how many clear Sotos I've ever sold. Only 2 have ever sold. The last one for 18,000, round up to 19,000. That was in 2022. We can even, I'd imagine to be more than that now. Maybe not, because the platinum 1 and 1 went for 40,000. So just interesting to see. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you in the next episode.